Welcome to Prime Space, a Prime Coaching Academy podcast with your host, Elias Scultori. So hello coaches, welcome to another episode of Prime Space. Today I am not alone. I have with me Dana Bernstein. Dana Bernstein. Dana is a PCC coach, and I've known Dana for many years because Dana lives in New Jersey, and she's a board member of the chapter for the ICF, the New Jersey chapter, ICF New Jersey, and we worked together a few years past when I was still living in New Jersey. And recently I gave a workshop for ICF New Jersey, and Dana was there supporting me and hosting the meeting and facilitating the conversation. So I said, Dana, you have a new book. Let's talk about that at Prime Space. Hello, Dana. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a joy to have this conversation with you, and I'm really looking forward to what we have to say here because so important and crucial for me as both for the coach and for the work that we do with our clients. Anyways, Dana is a conflict resolution coach, and the title of her book is It's the Thought That Counts. And the subtitle of this book is Mastering the Art of You versus You. Dana, let's start there. What do you mean by that subtitle?
Conflict doesn't exist. There is absolutely no such thing as conflict. You create it in your own mind. The things that bother you don't bother me, and vice versa. So it's our thinking about it is what causes something to be a conflict or whatever. We've overcome challenges all of our lives. So pinpointing why in this particular instance is this thing an issue is the goal of the book. And my premise is you have this whole internal identity that drives you. It's your values, your pillars, which is your best self, the trigger that stops you, the ideal emotion, the bucket of words that makes you you. Sometimes is this thing that's in conflict. My two values are fighting. My value is fighting with someone else's value. But as soon as you start identifying those 1 to 15 words, however many there are, you can see the players that are driving you down the rabbit hole. So it's really mastering the art of you versus your thinking, like you versus you.
That is so beautiful. I love you versus you. Like, I never thought of this idea that I can be in conflict with myself. And
All the time.
all the time, right? And I love what you're bringing here, that the conflict is not with the situation, the conflict is not with somebody else. It's really understanding how we are, and we may be in conflict with ourselves, and by understanding and having a deeper understanding of who we are able to see this more clearly, and perhaps even completely dismiss this possible conflict that we
Or
are
resolve
creating.
it, or resolve it with the other person. I mean, sometimes things do happen, obviously, on the outside conflict versus inside conflict, but understanding, oh, this person crossed my value of respect. What do I do with it? I can't unscramble the egg. I'm either going to have to make peace with it. I'm going to have to use another value to lead the conversation. But me continually thinking, oh, they don't respect me. They don't respect me. And playing that record over and over makes the situation worse. So the idea is to de-escalate yourself, understand like, ooh, respect got hit. What do I do with this? And then make a plan forward. Do I need to have a conversation with this person? Do I need to have a conversation with myself to calm myself down?
So, Dana, as I am continue to introduce you here, so who is Dana?
Oh, my outside stuff is blah, 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 right? Lots of outside things that I love doing. But who I really am, if you strip away all that outside stuff, is community, passion, laughter, and peace. And those are the things that really help me identify the projects and the tasks that I do every day, always in alignment with myself. or as much as can be, right? Obviously, we have life happening, but as much as can be, I'd rather be a 1% me than a negative 1% me.
That's so beautiful. I've always said, and I've said here at Prime Space as well, that my core values are connection and growth. And we had a beautiful conversation, you and I, last week, that I am in the process of revisiting these values and paying attention to refining them or going deeper. So I'm still in the process of refining that. And one I think that very soon I'm gonna land on more on my own words here. But for now, it's connection and growth, right? So, and I would love for you to share with us here, how do these words help you on a daily basis?
Oh, fun. It's fun to know who you are on the inside. But I'll explain it this way. Most people know how to drive a car. We know when traffic slows down, we have to start to brake. We know where all the little gadgets are in the car and what they're used for, why we need them. We know how to fill the gas tank. Well, maybe not New Jersey, but we know how to fill the gas tank when we're running out of gas. Our mind and body works the same way. But do we pause when something happens so we can think about why we're upset? Do we know where our gadgets are internally, our values, our pillars, our trigger? What happens when those buttons are pressed? What do we do? Do we slow down? Do we speed up? Do we fill our own gas tank up when we feel depleted? And how do you do that? What's the purposeful thing that you do to fill up your tank? So when I look at my pillars, I fill those up because those are the juice. Those are what gets me going. I build my community, I lean into it, I do work that I'm passionate about. I love laughing, and peace is huge. I love having a very calm existence, although it doesn't look so calm. But knowing when our clients know their internal self and know what drives them, that self command will help them navigate the challenges. And what happens if we all brought our best self to the table, whatever that table is, even if it's a 1%? Sometimes days are like a 1%er.
Yeah, no, thank you for this. That's why I believe that this work around values and identifying specific words that describe the core of who we are is so helpful, because it's the place where we land, right? And when we have to make decisions, or when there is conflict, or when there is something that we don't quite understand what is truly going on, these words will anchor us in saying, "Oh, it's coming from this place. I did this work before, and I can verbalize the essence of the reason why I'm acting this way, or the reason why this is important to me, or the reason why I'm having some difficulty navigating this particular moment. It's because it's coming from that place inside of me. And therefore, I'm able to more clearly define what's really happening, and more clearly make choices for myself of how
Mhm.
I'm going to proceed.
Can I add one more in?
Yes, please.
So when you are indecisive about a situation, like what do I do, or I don't know how to, am I staying with my job, am I leaving my job, all of those things, anything that causes indecision, look at your values and your pillars. Which ones are fighting? You can't put any of them out of the car because they're all part of who you are as a human being, but you can identify, oh, my perseverance value is fighting with my community pillar, and that's why I can't make a decision about this thing. And as soon as I label the thing, the two people that are fighting in my head, these little thought committee members, they're like, oh, you should persevere. Oh, but you should listen to your community, right? These two things are fighting. You can identify it, label it, decompress yourself, and say which one is going to lead. Because you'll stay in that circular war, being indecisive, not knowing what to do when you don't know who's driving what thoughts are driving you.
Yeah, It gives more clarity to make choices as we move forward.
Absolutely.
And so this is beautiful because this is a process that is not only valuable to us as coaches, because I think that we walk we walk the talk, right? So it's so important for us to do this for ourselves, but it's the beauty of the work that we can do with our clients as well. And I am always a little careful with this whole idea of what kind of exercises or what kind of assessments we do with our clients. It's not that we are going to push these exercises with the client specifically, but there is we open the door, and when the situation is appropriate, we can introduce this to them. Some coaches, and I don't know exactly how you do this, Dana. I think that you mentioned this last week when we were talking. I don't remember. Some coaches have some of these exercises right from the start as an introductory process with the client. I believe that this is the
Hmm.
way that you introduce this.
Well, you open the door. If the client walks through, then that's what they walk through. In the book, I have outlined the whole assessment, so you could use it and say you could do a values exercise at one point when it's inappropriate and when the client wants to walk down that path. Where we talk about sometimes client, what would your best self tell you to do? When the client gets to identify that best self, they understand which jacket of their best self they're putting on to overcome the challenge. And again, all of these exercises, a ton of exercises, are in the book, and you can use them at the beginning, in the middle, all throughout, and just keep reminding the client which value would lead on this one, or
Yeah.
what jacket would you wear, which jacket of your pillar would you wear, or on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you feeling that ideal emotion.
So, Dana, so there is this assessment that you have created, and you have, of course, written on in your book how to go through this assessment. Can you give us like a 1 minute the highlights of what is this assessment and what is the goal for this assessment?
The assessment are just the questions of those four buckets. What are your values? Who is that best self? Those pillars. What you want to feel every day and what stops you. And having the client self identify those words will give them like some self empowerment, some self command when things happen. It's a living, breathing exercise, so you can craft it however you want, but there are robust questions in there that you can use on your clients. On my website, I also have samples of how I have helped clients do that, so people can see that. Coaches can always contact me if they need some help. But it has been very powerful when my coaching friends have actually used it with their clients, because that aha moment of I've always been like that, but I never quite labeled what it was. But now I have a word for the thing.
Yeah, and that is exactly what happened to me many years ago. There was this conversation about values, and I had never thought about values for myself. I think I believe that this was when I was in my coach training, and I stopped to think like, okay, so what are my values? And I did not have to go through any exercise whatsoever. I just said, oh, it's connection and growth. This has been with me since I was born.
Exactly.
And just being able to identify and have them tangible. Oh, how much this has helped me all of these years in supporting me in understanding what was the tension, what was missing for me, what I wanted more, where do I want to go from here, because I knew that I know if I am in a place where I am making connections, and people, myself included, we are growing, expanding, thriving, I am at home. So that helps me tremendously, have not only knowing myself but having these words that support me and anchors me on this. And I love that you have added not only the values and the pillars that you have, but I love this. What is the ideal emotion that I am looking for, and what is the trigger that takes me off balance and gets me out of that. That was also very helpful for me to identify, and I appreciate you adding that to the uh, to this assessment as well. So Dana, if coaches are interested in getting to know more about this assessment and this process that you do, where do they go?
They can go to my website, mywhothoughts.com, and they could also order the book on Amazon. I'm easily findable. My email is, with most coaches, they could find me because I'm on the ICF website. So, and always happy to have a conversation so we can build stronger community. We could support each other, um, and then just make the world a better place. I mean, really, that's just the goal, is to help people get out of their own way, and then what shows up in the world.
Beautiful. And community is one of your words. So thank you for building this community. We will make sure to have on the notes of this podcast, of this episode, all of your contacts over there. So coaches, if you're interested in continue this conversation and understanding a little bit more of the value of values, and this process, please connect with Dana. It's a wonderful process. I am a firm believer that this can truly be this whole uh, identification of our values and what is at the core, and being able to verbalize it, so helpful for the coach and so helpful for our clients. So highly encourage everyone to take a look at this and see how you can implement this in your practice. Dana, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love talking to you. You're like one of my favorite people, literally. The grace, the love of life, I mean, all of that, it just stays with me. Whenever we used to speak back in the day, and even now, it's just wonderful to be with you.
Thank you so much. And it's always a joy to have you here as well. And we'll have you back another time and we will continue the conversation. Everyone, thank you so much for listening to this. Pay attention to your values this week and pay attention to these words that may be anchoring you to support you in your work and the work that you do with your clients. And don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with others. And I will see you next time. Take care.